Meanwhile, the GST, goods and services tax, is going to complete as far as the process is concerned. The introduction and inception of the tax is concerned. GST is going to complete 6 years on the 1st of July. So a survey from the consulting firm Deloitte India has found that 80% of India's business leaders see this as a time that is ripe for the government to usher in the next phase of the GST regime that could potentially bolster the ease of doing business in India and also for the kind of revenues that would apply for various industries. Let's understand this a little better. My colleague Bhavya Dua is joining us. Bhavya.
The Goods and Services Tax, GST, will mark its 6th anniversary on July 1, 2023. In the last few years, the centre was successful in consolidating indirect taxes under the GST regime that stirred the economy and boosted compliance. The tax, which is levied on supply of goods and services, is a comprehensive, multi-stage, destination-based tax that is levied on every value addition. GST is a single domestic indirect tax law for the entire country. A survey from consulting firm Deloitte India found that 80% of India's business leaders see the time ripe for the government to usher the next phase of GST regime that could potentially bolster the ease of doing business and revenues for various industries. The Narendra Modi government introduced GST through a legislation in 2017. Business leaders emphasized the need for the government to look at introducing a tax amnesty plan for disputes over levies that had choked business capital in the past. Now let's take a look at some of the key findings of the Deloitte survey. Number 1. Poll found out the current tax regime helped firms lower overhead costs and ease supply chains. Poll respondents also broadly agreed on the need to unveil a tax amnesty for resolving disputes. The survey also found out that 70% of business leaders had a positive perception about GST, up from about 60% in the previous year. GST collections grew by an annual average 22% in the last 6 years, the survey show. About 88% of MSE businesses say GST helped lower overhead costs. MSMEs have been among the biggest beneficiaries of the simplified tax regime. Survey says that corporate heads find the tax filing platform and technology supportive of the businesses.
Yes, indeed. And we've been watching GST revenues rise and fill up the government coffers. We'll see how much more they're able to garner in times to come.